And we are live? Question mark? I think. This music might be way too loud. I actually don't like this at all. Let me just put that on pause. Testing. What's up, Jay Breeze? Sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to figure out some technical stuff. I'm trying to get my... Well, one, I wanted to play music during the streams. What's up, Jay Breeze? Sorry, give me a second. Hey, what's up? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad with names. I can't... Lelani? Good morning. I'm going to break down the charts in just 1 second. I'm just trying to get the stream set up here. I won't have to do this too many times in the future, but I'm still getting used to this stuff. Let me know if you guys can hear this music. Okay, that is very loud. Give me 1 second. Can you guys hear that? Long Portuguese name. Well, see, my mom is from Brazil, so I should be able to say Portuguese names. Can you guys hear this music, or is it just like barely anything? Oh man, I'll probably just figure this out off stream. Whatever. No music for now. I also wanted to see my chat on my streaming software, but I can't see my chat for some reason, so I'll have to figure it out. You guys don't gotta worry. All right, so let's take a look at today. Markets are about to open, and I'm coming for a vengeance today. I'm tired of these. Jay Breeze said barely. All right, I'll figure it out later. I'm coming back with a vengeance today. By the way, yesterday off stream, I know off stream, but let me show you guys. Off stream, I traded back to profit on the prop firm account. If I can show you guys here. So yesterday we took if you were here yesterday, we took a small loss on the prop account. So here's the prop account. So in the last 24 hours, there was a profit of 105, so I was actually able to get the account back into profit for yesterday. But still, this is almost nothing for the account size. I mean, it's an 100K prop fund account, prop firm. I don't know why I keep saying fund. So this is obviously nothing, but it's a small win. And I wish I could show you guys the rest of the trades, but I don't know. Oh, actually, I can. Hold on. There we go. So you can see we took some small losses yesterday. And I'm currently in a trade, by the way. We took some small losses yesterday, but we ended up in profit off stream. So just keeping you guys updated with that. I'm in a very small long position right now on Bitcoin. Small because it's the pre-market, so don't want to be too aggressive, and it's definitely a risky trade. Anyways, let's get into the analysis. Give me 1 more second. Sorry, give me 1 more second, guys. Sorry to be so slow. Man. Okay, whatever. All right. So what is the trade, or what am I seeing over on Bitcoin? And we're going to take a look at NASDAQ as well. Bitcoin trade short or long? Well, I'm personally long, so, but I could easily get wiped out. So don't take my word for it. So what I'm seeing on Bitcoin right now, obviously we've been in quite a bit of a downtrend for the past few, I guess, hours since 10 p.m. yesterday. So we've been in a little bit of a downtrend. Then what ended up happening is that we broke through these lows here with a lot of volume, but then we bounced right back in to the range, right? So the lows over here got swept. A lot of volume came in, came right back up and out. And if we take a look at the price action, we can see that the buyers have definitely stepped in, because we take a look at the latest swing, right? So we're currently in this swing. This is our main swing right here. If I could just draw it, geez, where is my align tool? I'm a mess today. Here. All right. So this is our main swing here and here. Okay. And we were able to get all the way back up to what? This is probably the 786. Yeah. 786. So that's zone 3. If you guys have watched my price action videos, zone 3 after sweeping the lows down in here. So basically what this tells us is that the sellers tried to make some progress. They failed. The buyers came back, pushed all the way back up to almost the highs of this swing, which means that if we had to take a guess, you know, what's more likely? Are we going to break this high, or are we going to break this low? Well, this low was just created from sweeping liquidity to the left. Okay, so this low is probably less likely to be broken. And then on top of that, we have the buyers showing us that they are serious, because we got a zone 3 retracement of the main swing. Okay, so usually, and I've talked about this on stream quite a bit, it's a pretty common pattern that I've noticed. I don't have a name for it quite yet, but usually if you get a zone 3 retracement, what I like to do is I take a Fibonacci retracement of the move that got us into zone 3. So it would be from low to high now, this swing here. And then you look for a 50% retracement, okay, which is zone 1/2. Okay, and it helped that in that 50% retracement area, we also had this little area of support here. Okay, so that's the rationale behind the trade that I'm in right now. Okay, which is up 58 bucks. I mean, it's nothing. Once the market opens, maybe I'll trade heavier, but this is just pre-market stuff. So that's the rationale. All right, that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. I haven't even really taken a look at NASDAQ yet. So now you can see on Bitcoin, we've just retested these highs and we're starting to reject it. So, you know, long positions might need to be protected a little bit. But I'm tired of taking break-even trades, guys. I'm tired of it. All right, let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ, not even open yet. The data is kind of disgusting. Not a lot of volume, looks like. So not too interesting. I mean, if we zoom out a little bit, we can see that we're kind of in the middle of this swing here. All right, so I usually don't really like when we're in the middle of the kind of like a range. It's just harder to try, you know, price is just hard to predict when you're in the middle of, like, you know, this. We're just chopping back and forth, so it's a little bit harder to predict. Whereas if you're at the end of a downtrend or something, and then you get a new, you know, you get a new swing high, that's a lot easier. You can safely assume, okay, now we're starting to reverse. But in this case on NASDAQ, we are technically in this uptrend. We're making higher highs and higher lows, but it's still in the middle of this giant swing, which is also in the middle of this giant swing. So we're kind of in like a bigger consolidation mode on NASDAQ. So definitely a little bit harder to trade. I would probably like to see maybe some shorts up here or some longs down here. Other than that, it might be a little difficult to try to trade these swings here, because either one, you know, price can go either way. You know, it can easily go down, it can easily go up, and it wouldn't be surprising. So it's just difficult to make a decision there. But we can always analyze other time frames to try to help us out. But honestly, we'll have to come back to NASDAQ once the market opens. I think for right now, we don't really need to look at it. So here's back on Bitcoin. We can see we are getting back up to the highs. That's nice. We have some volume coming in. And so for Bitcoin, the target is probably going to be back up towards these highs here. Because we are trying to basically capture a reversal. So this is probably target 1 and then target 2 here. And so the trade kind of looks like this. Not really the most amazing risk to reward, about a 2-to-1, but it was a good probability trade in my opinion. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You want a 1 hour, 1 minute chart? 1 minute. So if you can't see it, oh, you saw the 1. You just couldn't tell if it's 1 minute. Let's see. I think if we go to 1 hour, it'll say, yeah, 1H. So that's how you can tell. If it just says 1, it's 1 minute. All right, so Bitcoin reaching for the 1 minute swing highs. We did create this big ass wick, which can be targeted, but it's quite up there. It's quite far away. I mean, if we could get up there, that would be very nice. I think this was the data high. A massive wick caused by the news that came out at 8:30. I don't think we have any more news for today, so it's just pure trading, pure price action. At least I hope not. I don't really know. I checked Forex Factory, but sometimes Forex Factory seems to lie to me. All right, market is about to open. Now, in the past few days, market opens and we seem to just dump. So probably gonna put some, a protective stop loss on my little trade. All right, so market's about to open in 1 minute here. Let's see what we decide to do. NASDAQ, again, kind of just in the middle of nowhere. Bitcoin chugging along. Maybe could reach these highs. Not really the target, but it is the data high, which just means a high created by news or really high volatility, aka data, news data. All right, market opened, and it looks like Bitcoin's going lower. Looks like we have a little bit of this ABCD, this little 2-wave pattern. So hopefully that's not the top, basically, because if we do turn around here, the only other target is back down to these lows. So then we would have to reassess. NASDAQ probably also taking a dump. Yep. So, wow, NASDAQ really taking a dump. The best strategy in the world right now is just shorting every day. It's crazy. Market opens, short it. And yet I never do it. I never do that. I'm too long bias. I just like buying too much. All right, let's take a look at ES. ES kind of did this little M formation there, so that's kind of positive. It's basically the same chart as, ooh, look at Dow. Dow Jones down back to the lows. Looks like we barely, I don't even think we did sweep those lows. NASDAQ looks like it's recovering, doing the same thing, kind of doing this little M pattern. So hopefully we can get back up to these highs. That would be positive for Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it's making new highs, so that's good. So it's actually stronger than NASDAQ right now. So NASDAQ is weak. Bitcoin is strong, relatively, not overall, because we're still down on Bitcoin for the day. Oh, wow. There we go. That's nice. Hopefully that's not a fake out. It looks like it might be a liquidity grab. Here is the Fund Your FX position. Here it is. I don't really like this wick too much. Don't really like that. That is pretty strong volume and a failure to close above these highs. So this is looking a little bit worrisome now, but that's all right. Not like we got much on the line here. We're going to go big. I'm sure we're going to get a big trade eventually today because I'm not settling for anything less. I will add or die. I will add forever and blow the account, or I will add forever and win or blow the account. I wore the wrong shirt today. Well, it's never the wrong time to wear this shirt, but I should have worn my I Love Gambling shirt. All right, so Bitcoin has just swept through these highs, looking quite bearish now. Swept through the highs with high volume, did a little bit of this ABCD pattern. If you take a look, this happens quite often. You get an ABCD pattern. It actually didn't even finish, but you get this W shape and then reversal. Wow. Tank. Fibonacci retracements come out. 618. That looks like my my break-even point. That's fine. I don't care. Let's see if we can trade some actual volatility on market open. Bro, buy or sell. You know I can't just start telling you guys to buy or sell. I can't do that. You're supposed to watch. You're supposed to be entertained, and you're supposed to trade with your own mind. Okay, surprising reversal there. I'm still in the trade. Almost got tagged. I'm surprised I didn't, honestly. Still moving higher, surprisingly. NASDAQ doing the same exact thing. This is just quite a bit of chop. Very hard to trade that. That's why it's usually best to try to avoid trading within the first 10 to 15 minutes of the market open. And by the way, if I sound a little bit nasally, it's because I'm sick. So DJI, Dow Jones. We got the Dow Jones here. It looks like everything else pretty much. I mean, obviously they're all correlated. We had a huge move down, a lot of volume right on the open, and it looked. I thought, did we sweep these lows here? It's like a perfect symmetrical low. All right, the low of this candle is 41,229. Low of this candle is 41,229. Yeah, so literally to the penny or to the dollar. I don't really have much to say on the Dow. It's just kind of doing its thing. The data isn't very nice, which is why I like to trade the NQ, because the data, it's just cleaner. Makes more sense. Same thing with Bitcoin, a little bit cleaner. Bitcoin just chopping around still. We should try to gravitate towards these data highs at some point today. At least that's the theory of smart money concepts. I like to call it simple money concepts. Okay, I'm out of my trade for break even there. That's fine, whatever. Totally don't care. Secretly, I do care, but every time it's honestly, there might be a statistical significance because whenever I stream, I take a lot of break-even trades, and then off stream, I do fine. Maybe it's trading on stream that is making me mess up a little bit. And I hate being that guy. The guy that says, yeah, guys, I made it back off stream. But at least I showed you. Okay, I showed you the proof. Okay. I need to blow my nose. So Bitcoin, again, we swept through these highs. A lot of volume came in there. So right now it's looking a little bit bearish. But honestly, I embrace us going lower because I do think we're going to get some sort of reversal back up at some point today. RSI is kind of in the middle of nowhere, so everything is just chopping around right now. Very difficult to trade. NASDAQ chopping around, slowly moving lower back towards these lows down over here. Bitcoin coming back towards these short-term lows as well. Let's see what happens here. We're also in an area of support, so it could be an interesting potential area. If we break through these lows, kind of sweep out some liquidity. Let's see what happens. All right, then I guess not. Then we are going lower, it seems. So next target is going to be towards these lows, but these lows should technically be protected. We're bouncing at the 786. This could be an area that Bitcoin finds some support. This could have been a fake out. We took out the highs here. Now we're taking out these short-term lows. We're in a general area of support. Let's see what happens here. There is definitely some stop losses sitting below this low here on Bitcoin, so we may gravitate towards there. Let's see maybe if we can get some high volume coming in here. And the next area of support would pretty much be these little wicks over here, which is what we're bouncing at now. Got some volume coming in. What is NQ doing? NQ has still kind of just stayed in the exact same spot. Bitcoin at support just broke through these lows. Volume is mild volume. We're bouncing at a little bit of an area of support. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's some bullishness there. Like I said, this could be a fake out to the downside and a reversal back up to these highs potentially. We'll see. It might take some time, and we might need to still take out these lows. Not gonna rule that out just yet. Wait till Trump signed that UK and EU tariff to mess everything up again. Oh yeah. That's the story of the markets lately. Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. And the whole market dumps. Alright, so we tried to get back up above these lows. It seems like we couldn't do that. So next target is looking like it's going to be somewhere down in here. Unless we can hold this blue zone here for now. NASDAQ is still a mess. Not much we can do with the NASDAQ right now. There's not really any sort of opportunity. We have these lows down here that look like they want to get breached. Let's look on the daily time frame on NASDAQ. We're kind of doing this consolidation thing now. Something to be cautious about that we've been noticing, just a simple observation on the NASDAQ, is that we get these little pauses and then continuations down, right? So you take a look here, we got a big down day, pause, big bit down day, 2-day pause, big down day, pause, big down day, and now we got another 2-day pause. Now, will this continue lower today? Are we going to continue this pattern? We don't know. But if we had to pick a bias on NASDAQ, if we had to guess, it could be lower. But I try not to trade based off of the daily chart when we're trading a 1-minute time frame, because anything can happen on the 1-minute time frame and still make sense on the daily time frame. I mean, you could see NASDAQ go all the way up and all the way back down on the 1-minute time frame, and then on the daily time frame, it's just going to look like the NASDAQ went down. Okay, so that's why it's a little bit. That's why I take higher time frames with a grain of salt, because they can mess with your psyche. I try to just focus on the immediate price action, just one time frame, and maybe some proximity time frames like the 1 minute. You can just use the 3-minute or 5-minute just to try to clean up the chart a little bit. But it's definitely not a good idea to try to trade the daily time frame based off of, or try to trade the 1-minute time frame based off of the daily time frame. Okay, but speaking of daily time frame, let's take a look at Bitcoin's daily time frame. Bitcoin's daily time frame is down, obviously. We have the yesterday's lows. I mean, we did not break yesterday's highs, and we have not reached yesterday's lows, obviously. I still feel like, if we were going off of just daily expectation, the daily bias, Bitcoin should technically be able to get back up to its yesterday's highs. And that would make sense, because we are technically targeting these data highs caused by the data that came out, news that came out. So ironically, Bitcoin's bias is long and NASDAQ's bias is short, which doesn't make sense. So that's why we got to just try to trade the time frames that we're trading. All right, NASDAQ breaking through its low. Looks like it wants to take out those stop losses. Let's see if it actually holds up there. Overall, again, just still in this kind of never-ending chop. But we may see an overextended move down. All right, so we got a pretty strong close there. Close below. If this candle can't reclaim it, yep. If this candle can't close back up above these lows, then, we're probably going lower down to these lows. We're pretty much already at these lows. Let's see here. These are London session lows all the way down here. So now these lows were the beginning of this massive move higher. So I bet this is almost like a demand level. Yeah, it is. You take a look here on the 5-minute time frame. This is a little bit of like a demand wick or a demand candle here. So this could actually pose as some pretty decent support, especially since we broke through the low. So now we can see that happening, yeah. We can see the rejection of that demand level. But for me, still, this is looking a little bit early. You don't want to step in front of a falling NASDAQ nowadays. It's pretty, as we've seen in the past few days, pretty risky. It looks like Bitcoin is failing to hold its little level of support there, so we're going to probably take out these lows here, which is around 82,216. Looking to the left, what are the next areas? We got a little bit of some support down here around 81,000, but that's a little bit too far for trying to trade this 1 minute time frame. So we're just going to go off of the price action, off of the logic. Bitcoin have a high chance of going lower to the support of 73 to 70K to wipe out the previous long? I'm sure it does. 73 is way down there, so we can't really use that for today. All right, Bitcoin is breaking its lows, high volume now, so this could be a liquidity sweep, potentially. Usually if you get a high volume candle breaking through lows, it's because there's orders getting triggered. So, could be interesting. NASDAQ holding that area of demand, and now we're seeing some relief. Still a bit risky, but I did say I'm gonna win big or die trying, right? So maybe we should just start. Maybe I should just start buying and just buy. NASDAQ, to be buying NASDAQ today is very scary because, like we mentioned, we got these pauses and then massive down days. Pause, massive down days. And looks like RSI actually looks pretty bullish on the NASDAQ because we came back out from being oversold, which is the first time that we've done that, obviously, since being overbought over here. So this entire downtrend is now seemingly weakening on the NASDAQ daily time frame. So that could be a positive sign for today. It might be the sign that we need to not have another massive dump. But it's possible. It's not out of the question, for sure. Bitcoin going lower, so that was not a liquidity sweep. Now it's definitely bearish. Now we are bearish once again, but that's fine because we still are looking for potentially an overextended move lower on Bitcoin. So it's 9:50 a.m. 10 a.m. usually gets some volatility, as well as 11 a.m. So let's see what happens in the next few minutes on Bitcoin. Let's see if we can get some measurements. It's going to be kind of difficult with the data. I mean, we have this crazy wick here, which I don't even know if we should count that. But for just having some idea, I'm going to take out some Fibonacci extensions and mark out some levels. And let's do, yeah, I don't even, this wick is kind of messing things up because I'm not even sure if we should count that, honestly. It's kind of a crazy outlier. Let's see if we do an ABCD pattern. Yeah. I'll just keep these little extension levels here marked out. Nothing too interesting still. So we're gonna mark out this little ABCD pattern, which may or may not be accurate because of this wick. It's just throwing everything off. Sorry for sniffling. I'm sick. Apologies. NASDAQ dumping even lower. Again, back down to the lows of this demand candle on the, what was it, 5-minute time frame. So this is a little area of demand, but it's not looking too good for it. It looks like we want to go lower. It might be that we want to take out these London lows, London session lows over here, which is down at 14,410 basically. 19, what am I saying? 19,410. Yeah. So it looks like we're going to go take out those lows. This level of demand has been breached. So now we just kind of wait it out. A lot of volume in this previous candle. Bitcoin barely moving, actually. That's interesting. NASDAQ is dumping. Bitcoin is holding. It would be interesting if NASDAQ gets down to these low London lows and Bitcoin gets down to these extension levels, which are these two black lines here. That could be an interesting opportunity. Still too early to try to be buying. Given what we're seeing, a lot of weakness in the market overall. Surprise, surprise. Every day. The same thing. We gotta just start shorting the market open, guys. Clearly it's working. Let's take a look at some measurements on NASDAQ. Let's see what an equivalent move brings us to. Oh, we're at it right now. So we got this one, this little ABCD pattern, which is getting blown through. So yeah, it looks like we're just going to take out these lows. That's all we were going to focus on now. There's no point trying to focus on anything else other than the London session lows. Right down at 19,410. Bitcoin is now into this extension area. So yesterday's lows are all the way down here. Could we reach that today? That would be pretty crazy. But right now, we're kind of just in a straight line down, so definitely going to get overextended here. RSI is almost oversold. But yesterday, if you were here, yesterday I did try to buy Bitcoin when I believed it was oversold. I think I tried to buy it all the way here. And it was actually a pretty good buy in the grand scheme of things. But we had to do this capitulation, and I didn't even add. In hindsight, probably should have just kept adding, but I was tilted. And then I cut it for a loss, which is what the loss was. That I had to trade back, and then it just continued up forever. Basically, I was too early, and that's basically the same thing as being wrong. If you've watched The Big Short, you know that quote. So, if we're gonna do this again, this was yesterday's trading session. If we're gonna do that again, this is still nothing in comparison. And we did get a pretty similar move actually here. You got this large straight move down, and then a very small pullback, and then a continuation lower. And now we're kind of doing the same thing. Large straight move down. Could we get a little bit of a pullback and then reach down to yesterday's lows? I don't know. We still have those data highs sitting at 84,000, which technically should be targeted, but we are way lower than 84,000 now. So that might be an ambitious target. NASDAQ took out the London lows, and you can see what happens when we take out those lows. Ginormous volume, big fat candle, a little bit of a rejection wick, but most importantly, tons of volume. Whoops. So let's see if NASDAQ holds the sweep area. Looks like we took out a bunch of lows here. And let's take a look. Is RSI overextended? Yeah, RSI is oversold. Looks like we're going lower though. Wow. I'm not jumping in front of this train today. I will patiently wait for some much better sign of reversal than yesterday. Yesterday I got in too early because, well, the price action was not ready to reverse. Okay, I was considering this confirmation, but it's because we were too zoomed in, and that's what I warned about. I don't know if it was yesterday's stream, but if you zoom in too much on the chart, you miss the grand scheme of things. And so when you zoom in, or when you zoom out in this chart, would you consider this potentially a reversal? Probably not. It's a very small pullback, right? But would you consider, let's go in replay mode. This is a little lesson of the day. Okay, and this is a common pattern again. If you see this sort of move lower, and then finally, after all of this, right, after all of this downtrend, okay, and you see this giant move lower, okay, you would expect strength, right? Because this is a strong move lower, right? You got literally like 10 candles in a row that are down. But what ends up happening is that we make a lower high, but then we form a higher low, and then we make a higher high, okay? So what you would expect is a shallow retracement in this type of move. And what ended up happening is you get that 786 zone 3 retracement. And that is the confirmation we should have looked for that potential reversal. And then buying the dips. So, and then we obviously make new highs, so that's even more confirmation. But this is when you want to start buying after a downtrend. Once we actually show reversal signs, not here, which is what I did, unfortunately, but luckily it didn't cost me too much. I was just greedy. All right, look, and this is another reason why you wait for confirmation, because if we just bought at these extension levels, assuming that it was going to hold, well, we would be in some deep trouble now. So another straight move down, unfortunately, for today, which sucks because people lose money when everything goes down. But we're going to try to trade it as best as we can. In fact, let's see if we include this wick, if we include that crazy wick, we could technically target this ABCD pattern down at 81,300. So an equivalent move lower there. Take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is way below its London lows, way below pretty much all of its lows. And so for NASDAQ, there's no sign of reversing just yet. RSI is still oversold. We have a little bit of like a demand level here. So we could see a shallow pullback and continuation lower. We're down 1.26%. And look at what we're doing. We're starting to fulfill the prophecy here of the pause and continuation, pause and continuation. Okay, we had our 2-day pause here, and now it looks like another day of continuation, which means that we could be dropping 3% or more today, because all of these down days have been, just from open to close, have been around 3%. If you just measure them all out, they're like 2.5 to 3%. So right now we are down 1.2%. So there's plenty of more room for NASDAQ to continue lower, which again sucks, but what are we supposed to do about it? We're going to go and stop the market from dropping? Tell the market to chill? Reflex now said trade something. Okay, I'm not going to just trade something because you want me to trade something. I mean, that's risky. Actually, I do have a series coming where I will trade a prop account based off of the chat. That is coming. So make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. I guess you don't really have to comment. Make sure you have those bell notification icons on. I'm just setting up a bunch of stuff behind the scenes for that type of content. Oh my god, we don't have the like button. We don't have the smash the like button text. That's why the market's going down. Alright, now the market should be a little bit more friendly, as long as you guys like. The more you like the video, the less likely the market is to drop. It's a fact. Okay, so right now we're actually starting to see some potential signs of reversal on both NASDAQ and Bitcoin. We're starting to get those rejection wicks. Okay, this is usually what you start to see at the end of a trend. You get some volume and you get some rejection wicks. So both NASDAQ and Bitcoin, you can see right here, this massive amount of volume that just came in with this wick here. Potentially a reversal signal there. All right, potentially. Not for sure, but potentially. But we are not, me personally, I'm not really willing to try to buy when we're still basically straight down. Okay, because that's what I tried doing yesterday and it did not work out nicely. Now, will it work out today? Probably, because I'm making the decision not to do it. But I'd rather not get tilted trying to buy too early and just wait for some sort of better confirmation. Can I add gold? We can take a look at gold. I don't really look at gold often. Gold is still moving higher, daily trend. Yeah. Wow, gold's about to hit all-time highs. Okay, that's nice. I do have some long-term positions on gold, so cool. I don't really see too much on gold right now. It's kind of looking like we're going to get probably like a 127 extension, if I had to guess. Probably need to go a little bit higher, up to this zone here. 29.54 and 29.56. And then you get some sort of pullback, because it is strong. So I don't think it's going to top out necessarily right now. And also, whenever the market tanks like this, gold technically should go up. All right. Well, as we were stating on NASDAQ, potentially reversal signs. Of course, we should have bought there, but whatever. I'm fine with waiting. So just another lesson: when you're approaching the end of a trend, it's usually when you start getting high volume rejection candles like this, where you get these big wicks and high volume. That's usually a sign of potential bottom. I need to blow my nose so bad. I should have brought tissues. Now we're into this little area of supply on NASDAQ. So if we're gonna go lower, if we aren't going to reverse here, then this is going to be the area where it could continue its massive dump, because it is a shallow correction, which is what oh my gosh, can't speak, which is what would make sense for a move this strong. Okay, in a real strong downtrend, you don't really get big pullbacks, you get small pullbacks, right? Shallow trends, because everybody is selling. So anytime you get a pop, it gets sold off. So if we can break this area, of supply, this little area of resistance, then that could be one factor to put in our notebook of a potential reversal. One confirmation. Okay, because the sellers are trying to push it down and it looks like they cannot. So there is, wow, look at that pump. So that's some pretty strong reversing. We got like a V bottom now. Now the question is this going to be a bull trap? Because we have been seeing some bull traps the last few days. That is the question now. Both on Bitcoin and NASDAQ. Ow. Cramping. Ugh. Guys, give me 1 second. My nose is completely clogged. I need to go blow my nose. Bought layer at 1.1525. It's now at 1.19. Nice buy. All right, so NASDAQ was able to get above its little area of resistance. This could be an interesting play of a potential move higher. But I'm very scared of this happening. big fat candle. But also on the daily time frame, we do have an oversold condition. So, all right, guys, give me 1 second. Oh, look, 1 minute time frame. Also, oversold conditions. Jesus, I need to blow my nose and go to the bathroom. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Smash that like button for a reversal, I guess. Okay. Alrighty. So NASDAQ looks like it came back down into that area of broken supply, used it as support, and now we are moving a little bit higher. I would be surprised if we just get a straight move higher. We're pretty much in this little swing here. So do we think we're going to take out these lows, or do we think we're going to take out these highs? That's the very simple way of trying to get a bias. What's more likely? Do we break the lows or do we break the highs? Make it very simple. That's why we call it the simple trader. All right, so that's NQ. Bitcoin is not as strong, I would say. Bitcoin looks like it's doing the same thing it did yesterday. I mean, look at this and look at this. We're basically here, it looks like, on Bitcoin right now. So, but obviously if Bitcoin tanks, so does the NASDAQ and vice versa. But we should treat them separately. Market too slow, sold sign, nothing here. Yeah. Pretty much moving in straight lines right now. Zigzagging. Looks like Bitcoin is pushing lower. NASDAQ is also pushing lower. Still have this little area of supply, but I'm not gonna really take that into account. Let's see where we measure at. We're at a 61.8 on the move down. Let's take a fib retracement, see where the 50 is. It's right in this little area of demand / support. So this could be an interesting area here. Something like this. We could be seeing something like that, a little W reversal. Not much movement now, kind of slowing down, 10 a.m. Overall, oh my god, I need to turn my fan off, I'm freezing. Overall bullish right now, in general. All right, pulling back on NASDAQ. Pulling back down into the area of interest. See if this can hold. Look at the fibs. Looks like we're bouncing at the 382. You got some volume coming in. Okay, well, looks like we didn't quite get there. Volume is strong. Dang, we're not going to get into that area? That sucks. Wow, just barely missed it. Bullocks. So now NASDAQ looks like it really wants to get back up to these highs. But this could be a bull trap. Above these highs here. Potentially. I've seen it happen. It's almost like the stronger the candle, the more likely it is to be a trap. It would make sense if you think about it. Ferdos, what's up, Ferdos? Bitcoin and NASDAQ are pretty much doing the same thing, so you can apply the analysis to both. Bitcoin bottomed out, but now we're getting a very minor retracement. Very minor. In fact, Bitcoin could see something like an ABCD pattern up into this 50 area, 50% retracement. And then potentially lower. Just like we did yesterday here. All right, NASDAQ moving higher, wants to reach those highs, still reaching for it. Got so close to our little area there, but didn't quite make it. Bounced at the 382 retracement. Bitcoin kind of struggling here. Not much pressure higher. Just a little bit of some chop after this hopeful move. It's interesting the NASDAQ is moving a lot higher than Bitcoin right now. So Bitcoin is now the weak one, NASDAQ is the strong one. NASDAQ almost to those highs, which is where we wanted it to go if we were in this trade. Got so close. And Bitcoin looks like it's going to reach its little area here of resistance, which means does NASDAQ go lower after taking out these highs here? Would it make sense for NASDAQ to go lower here? I don't know. This looks more like a reversal. This looks like it wants to V-bottom up and away. Maybe we'll get some sort of retracement down back into this area here, which puts us back towards 19,000 424-ish. This area here. All right, Bitcoin now into its area. Oh my gosh, into its area of resistance with some volume there as well. Nasdaq still holding on. Bitcoin, strong volume into this area of resistance. Looks like we're pushing higher for now. Nasdaq probably getting up to these highs. So Nasdaq looks like it's going to take those highs. So this looks like the beginning of a little bit of a longer term reversal potentially. But Bitcoin, on the other hand, looks like the beginning of a move down to yesterday's lows. So got a little bit of a paradox. Bitcoin looks like it wants to go lower. Nasdaq looks like it wants to go higher. But only one can win, because whichever way one goes, the other goes. Leilani says, trying my favorite, Cardano. Nice. Good luck. All right, Nasdaq still not above those highs, but it looks like it wants to push up there. Bitcoin is pushing through the resistance so far. Definitely getting a little overextended now. We're going straight up. Straight up on Bitcoin. Nasdaq straight up as well. Above highs. Oh, wow. Big push there on Bitcoin, and Nasdaq is pretty much the same. High volume candle. This could be interesting now. Well, it looks like that was a little bit of a trap. Let's see. Both Nasdaq, and that was a 61.8 rejection there. Nasdaq and Bitcoin. Oh, wow. Nasdaq is going up still. That's surprising. Wow, look at that reversal on Bitcoin. That would have been a nice little area to try a short, maybe. But we are kind of in a down, or we're in a little bit of an overextended downtrend right now. Just came off from being oversold. I think I would rather look for potential buys. Me and my long bias. Just feels a little more risky when you're buying something that's all the way down from its highs here and showing strong signs of reversal. So I'd rather be looking for longs. NASDAQ is also showing signs of reversal. So let's get our fibs out. Look for that 50 level. So this little area right here. So there's the pullback that we were expecting in that area. But will it break these lows? That is the question now. Again, are we more likely to break these lows or are we more likely to break these highs? This is the swing that we're in. If I had to guess, more likely to break these highs than continue lower, but we'll see. We still have those data highs up around 84,000. We're already starting to see a little bit of buying pressure come in before the 382. Trump just said he wants a 200 tariff on alcohol from Europe. What? Why? Did they tariff our alcohol or something? Is it a reciprocal? Sorry about that, guys. I am sick, as I stated. Okay, well, that's quite the move lower. I would like to not see that type of move into that area. Let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ still holding steady. All right. Well, there's that 50 fib level holding up. I just wish we didn't get such an ugly candle into it. And look at that reversal. Gosh darn it. I need to just start putting limit orders. Well, miss that train for now. That's okay though. Could potentially get a little bit of a more complex pullback. Take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart still undecided. So there's plenty of room either way. Oh man, that zone held nicely. But I have a feeling that it's not going to just be a straight line up. May need to fart around a little bit. NASDAQ is making new highs still. Wow. A lot of strength out of NASDAQ. Looks like we just took out some lows here. Some lows, I mean some highs. With some high volume. Bitcoin, a little bit of a rejection wick there. Not a lot of volume though. Ugh, man. Looks like I just need to start buying when I just gotta start following my gut. We were talking about this being a potential reversal, and that was the low of the frickin' move. And then we were talking about this move breaking this high. I just need to start buying whenever I speak. And of course, if I try that, we all know how that goes. If we try that, it's when it'll stop working. As soon as something works, as soon as you notice something works, and then you try it, it stops working. Ugh. All right. Could potentially see a little bit of a ABCD pattern lower. Maybe take out some lows here on Bitcoin. On NASDAQ is just doing its thing, chugging along. Got that V bottom reversal. Could it be a big fat bull trap? Could. We did get something similar yesterday, right here. Oh wow, at the same exact time too. Around 10. Big fat move. And then you get this kind of nothingness until we moved lower in the night or evening. So it looks like we're kind of in that same phase right now. In fact, just for fun, let's see what this retraced to. This retraced to a 786, zone 3. And this, well, let's measure it right. I guess we would measure it like this. That reached a 886, zone 3. So could this be a bull trap? That is a little bit of a possibility here. These V bottoms don't seem to be working as real bottoms. They seem to just be short-term reversals. And now we're seeing that happen. So there's Bitcoin back down under, back down in with, again, ugly candles. So let's see if this area holds. Wouldn't be too surprised if we get through these lows. So this zone is a little irrelevant now. Now it's more like all of this, pretty much. NQ pulling back. Let's see if we can get Bitcoin into this zone here. Could potentially act as an area of support. NASDAQ just doing its thing, chugging along. Don't really have too much to say about NASDAQ. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. All we can do is observe. Right now it's smash. It's I was reading the smash select button. Right now it's touching up on that 382 Bitcoin. Let's see where it's at relative. A little ABCD pattern here probably. Yeah, it looks like that was an ABCD pattern into a little bit of an area of support, which is why we're getting a little bit of a bounce now on Bitcoin. All right. A little bit of a bounce. I need to pee again. What the hell? I just peed. I guess it's that coffee. All right, Bitcoin should be able to get into this zone. NASDAQ probably needs to do a little bit of a ABCD pattern. Probably needs to do one more leg lower if it's gonna continue higher. Down to that 50 level, which was an area of support. Is an area of support. Little tiny spot. And then we have big support right below that area as well. Previously around 19,420 and 19,400. That is a big area of support. Bitcoin doesn't really have, I guess it has a little bit of support here, but not the greatest. But I'll highlight it just to make myself feel better about it. I need to mute my Telegram. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my Telegram keeps freaking buzzing. Alright, Bitcoin getting a little bit of a push. NASDAQ still a little struggle. Take a look at the fibs here. Ooh, that was a nice 61.8 test. Still feel like we should be able to get into this area here. Would be a little unnatural to just go straight up from this, but it's possible, I guess. Anything's possible, right? As Jason Tatum once said. All right, NASDAQ moving a little bit lower, retesting that 382. We do have a little bit of that ABCD that should be able to complete if I had to guess. Due for a pullback for sure. And we are getting one. RSI on Bitcoin kind of just in the middle. Nothing fancy, nothing going on there. Come on, NASDAQ. A little bit lower. Help Bitcoin get to where it needs to go. Let's look at that 15-minute time frame to get a sense. 15-minute time frame. The 15-minute time frame looks like it does kind of want to go down to these lows, doesn't it? But good thing we're not trading the 15-minute time frame. Daily time frame is doing nothing. Come on, do something. Let's get some movement. I'm not seeing enough movement. I've referenced so many memes that I think are going over your guys' head. I'm living the meme. There's living the dream and living the meme. Yeah, basically. Oh man, Musk. Let's see what gold did. Oh yeah, there's gold. Into that blue zone. And now we might be a little overextended. Check RSI. RSI is oversold or overbought. So gold might need to come down a little bit now. Bitcoin's coming down a little bit. NASDAQ's coming down a little bit. Gold going higher, yeah, because NASDAQ and everything are starting to roll over, so it makes sense. Makes sense. All right, well, gold is really pumping now. Overbought. Bitcoin moving a little bit lower. NASDAQ completing that ABCD, almost there. Into a little bit of an area of support. Oh my gosh, I need to pee again, guys, and blow my nose. So I'll be right back. You guys keep an eye on the markets for me. Don't let it fall too much. All right. Not much has happened. Bitcoin still going higher. Kind of just chopping around now. It's getting to that point of the day where the volume starts drying up. Oh my God! Look at the volume on Bitcoin. It's completely gone. Look at that. NASDAQ lower, Bitcoin now starting to drop a little tiny bit, but nothing serious. Could we be trading NASDAQ today? Potentially, maybe. So NASDAQ's now into that ABCD pattern area. In a general area of support. Took out these lows. All right, I'm watching you, NASDAQ. I'm watching you. All right, NASDAQ hovering around that little area of support there. We do have more support right beneath it. But this is a little bit of a ABCD pattern. I keep saying a little bit. It is an ABCD pattern. Completion point right there below these little lows here. I guess everything's a little. Bitcoin still hovering. All right, so let's just clean this up a little bit. Looks like we got a V bottom and like a V top on NASDAQ. Hopefully, was there any tariffs? Is this because of the tariffs news? This V top? Are we about to dump 5% now? Hopefully not. We're back into this little area of support here. And we're seeing a little bit of a bounce. Bitcoin not really moving much. Alright, going deeper into that area of support. It's quite a strong top though. Not really loving that. That is quite the reversal, so gotta be careful. Bitcoin looks like it's about to get into its area of support. NASDAQ RSI looks like it might want to go oversold. But we are into this little area of support. 5-minute time frame maybe makes it a little bit clearer to see. But we do have this craziness, crazy wicking around. Bitcoin didn't quite make it to that little area of support. Little, I keep saying little. I don't know why. Why do I keep saying little? NASDAQ looks like it might need to chop around here for a little bit. It would be a little bit unnatural for NASDAQ to go straight back up. Do have some close proximity lows here that might want to get taken out as well. Bitcoin just farting around still. We would have liked it to get into this little support zone here, but it looks like we're in the short term kind of just bouncing a little bit. NASDAQ undecided whether it wants to hold this level or not. As we all know, the longer you stay at an area of support, the weaker it gets. So this looks like it wants to go down to here, probably, in my opinion, down to these lows. Or potentially see a minor bounce and then do another complex pullback. Right now we're already in a little bit of a complex pullback situation. You got the ABCD pattern into a little bit, and I keep saying a little. I don't know why I keep saying a little bit of an area of demand. So I guess that's why we're getting this little bit of oh my gosh, I need to stop saying that. Getting some relief. Not too much volume. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin consolidating still. I just realized you can't see my cool shirt. Can't see my shirt because of my microphone. All right, Bitcoin, come on, do something. NASDAQ holding this level for now, but not too strong. I do think it's going to have to break here. It does look quite weak. I would like to see a quick move below these lows. A swift move. It's the move that tells you that the buyers are really getting in there. On the NASDAQ, Bitcoin just still doing what it's doing. If you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button if you enjoy the stream. If you enjoy the vibes, the analysis, the trading. All right, back into this area. Still holding up, but still not really great price action. Let's check RSI. RSI is not oversold still. Bitcoin now moving lower. Looks like Bitcoin wants to get under these lows here, potentially these lows here. NASDAQ moving lower as expected. Weakness for sure on this chart. You can actually see it's almost like a giant or a tiny little head and shoulders. But eventually, knock on wood, eventually there should be some sort of relief. NASDAQ still in this area, reaching for those lows, probably going to take them out. Fibonacci retracements, take a look. Zone 3 down in here, that's potentially an area of interest. A little bit of an area of demand as well, but so is the one that we're currently in. Bitcoin about to get into its little zone. Little. Can't stop saying it. NASDAQ attempting to push out of its area of support. But unfortunately, there's still no volume in any of these candles. Meaning no serious business quite yet. Now here's a somewhat decent move, but still no volume, so don't really trust it. Wouldn't be surprised if this candle gets faked out and closes down here. What's that? Let's see. Is it going to really mean it? A little more volume, but still nothing too exciting. Price action is slowly weakening on the downside because we can see the lows were taken out. We were unable to close below those lows. All right, there we go. That's nice. That is some good movement. Bitcoin not following through. which is a little bit concerning because they usually correlate with each other. So if Bitcoin's not moving and NASDAQ is, sometimes Bitcoin can bring NASDAQ down. Or this could be a precursor move before Bitcoin moves higher. Depends on the way you look at it. NASDAQ is moving higher, Bitcoin isn't, so potentially Bitcoin is undervalued right now. A little bit of like some arbitrage, if you think about it. So we're looking at the NASDAQ right now, pushing higher after touching our zone. Our zones are working pretty well today. Don't want to jinx it, knock on wood. If you could please knock on your desk, everybody at home. Thank you. Bitcoin now starting to follow through, but I gotta tell you, Bitcoin doesn't feel like Bitcoin should move higher here. I mean, maybe it'll be like a little bit of a breakout. I mean, we can just for fun draw out some traditional patterns like this. But what would make more sense is for Bitcoin to come down, take out these lows, and then move higher. But maybe we won't get that. Maybe we'll just continue higher from here. NASDAQ had a little bit of a rejection candle there, but not too much volume in it, so not too scary. The idea is to get back up towards these highs eventually. Not sure how fast we can do that, but back up towards these highs is the target. All right, Bitcoin actually seems to be breaking out of that little pattern. Little, again, I can't stop saying it. What's wrong with me? Is anybody long? Is anybody bought? Is anybody in any trades? I know you guys love that question. Here, and so you don't have to break your anonymity. Anonymity? I'll just run a little poll. Oh, wait. That poll doesn't even make sense. Long or short? Yes, no. Yes. Oh my gosh, doesn't even make sense. Long or short? Yes, no. Genius. I'm a flippin' genius. All right, NASDAQ getting snuffed. Bitcoin also kind of breaking out of this pattern. My guess is that this is going to be a fake out breakout, and we potentially finally get into that zone. Potentially, maybe. I mean, right now, this is a little bit too obvious of a breakout. And if something's too obvious, it doesn't usually work. Might be taking out stops here. On Bitcoin, looks like we're taking out stops. You can actually see volume, high volume after breaking those highs. So this is probably almost certainly a liquidity grab. You can see the volume as soon as we broke those highs. As soon as we broke those highs, Yoink. Bunch of volume, meaning those orders got hit. So that is why we're seeing this drop now. So looks like a potential bull trap. NASDAQ dropping a lot harder now than Bitcoin. Let's see if Bitcoin follows suit. Yeah, that is the liquidity grab right there. The geniuses over at those hedge funds or whatever, just screwing the retail traders. Take out your stops, move lower. That's why trading breakouts is one of the hardest ways to trade, because you're just constantly going to be facing the threat of stop hunts and liquidity grabs and such. Not fun. All right, NASDAQ retesting its area of support after that bull trap. Bull trap probably signals that we're going to need to go lower. Like that. The issue with bull traps, yes, is that once you get the bull trap, it can lead to some pretty flippin' crazy moves lower, because it's really just max. You just need to get max pain. Everybody that buys in the trap, the market needs to kind of just give them their max loss until we get a reversal. So, I mean, this didn't really look like a bull trap on NASDAQ, but we know that there was a bull trap on Bitcoin, given the price action. So this may lead to some lower price movement. And again, if we look over here to our left, this is looking eerily similar to this price move here yesterday at market open hours. Eerily similar. Eerily similar. Let's see if there was a bull trap yesterday. Bull traps. Not really. Not really. Just kept making lower lows, lower highs. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Oh, well, there's a random spike on NASDAQ. Cool. Bitcoin also going back up. Let's see if this is a trap. Let's see if we are we not done with the bulls? At this point, it's a pretty obvious looking retail trader buy with stops below these lows, which is not good for our thesis of a reversal. You kind of want the market to move in a weird way when you're looking for your position, because if it's too obvious of a trade, it's difficult to make it work, because if too many retail traders jump on, then their stops are going to start going at the most obvious areas to put stops, and that will definitely attract price, as we always see every day. But our theory still remains that this is looking more like a reversal to the upside than a continuation lower on NASDAQ, at least. Bitcoin, we're not so sure about. Bitcoin is still doing nothing. Still doing nothing. All right. Well, I got some high volume there. If we could just get one big fat candle up here, that would be great. All right, a little bit of a consolidation. If we get a continuation here, that would be a very nice sign of confirmation. That would be very strong buy pressure. If we get a failure here, that would just be another bull trap, which would be very bad for longs. Looks like Bitcoin just made a high volume candle for in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of this consolidation, high volume. So some transactions have just taken place there. NASDAQ forming a little bit of consolidation. This miniature flag pattern. Break up would be good. Break down would be not so good. Random high volume candle on Bitcoin. I wonder what that's all about. High volume but no movement. NASDAQ back on the lower range of its little flag pattern. Alright, Bitcoin's still in its stinky range. I can't really envision Bitcoin going straight up from here, but maybe that's a good thing, because maybe that means it's more likely. But it does feel like Bitcoin should get down below these lows first for any sort of move higher, which is the issue. Because without Bitcoin going higher, neither does the NASDAQ. All right, there's the NASDAQ doing a little bit of a breakout. A little bit. I keep saying, oh my God. Okay, whatever. I'll just accept that I keep saying little. Little bit of a breakout. Is it going to be a bull trap, though? Again, looks like we just swept through those highs, and now we're getting rejection candles. So that's not ideal. Oh, there goes Bitcoin. Oh, well, Bitcoin's off to the races, down. Ginormous sell candle there. For some reason, NASDAQ is not following suit. Fat candle down. Not too surprising. Not too surprising. NASDAQ NASDAQ broke through those highs, failed to move forward, failed to move out. All right, there goes NASDAQ giving up those small gains. Bitcoin sell-off seems to be mimicking yesterday, which means that there's serious threat of getting down to yesterday's lows now on Bitcoin. The runaway train has begun, ladies and gentlemen, like every other day. And by every other day, I mean every day. Another runaway train. Unless this is a shakeout, which I would like to see that instead of having to deal with another day of just pure downwards momentum. All right, there goes NASDAQ mimicking Bitcoin. In lockstep, the NASDAQ is basically Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is basically NASDAQ. So it looks like NASDAQ's going to want to break through these lows. All right, Bitcoin edging higher for a little bit. Not oversold on our side. NASDAQ breaking through those lows. This is where there should be some sort of buying pressure if we're not going to just tank down. If we're not going to do the runaway train thing again. It's looking pretty strong. There's that touch of the zone 3 that we talk about. So that's the zone 3 on NASDAQ, which is just a 786 retracement. 786 to 886, that zone there. A little bit of a demand zone as well. Take a look here. So, are we going to hold these lows? And is Bitcoin going to hold these lows? Here, wow, look at the increase in volume all the way down. It's like a perfect little staircase. All right. So we got that big volume increase down into that area of demand on NASDAQ. 3-minute chart, you can see this is an area where we saw that reversal. So potentially unfilled orders there. Now the move lower is not very positive, obviously. And when we take a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is failing to see any kind of bullishness, which is also not great. We just got 2 fat candles into this area. The only positive thing is that this candle right here was a very high volume candle. And we know high volume candles into areas of supports can be a positive sign, but we also have stop losses sitting below these lows here. Almost guaranteed to have stop losses sitting there. And the market lately has just been focusing on seemingly ripping buyers' throats out of their face. So hopefully that's not the case today, but we'll see. So NASDAQ coming back into this area of previous support, now turned resistance, and we are failing to get back above there. We can see the instant increase in volume as we start moving into this area of potential buy orders. Will it be enough to hold? That is the golden $1 million question. We are definitely a little bit oversold. We definitely could use some relief, but we know from recent price action in the past few days, relief is not something we seem to be getting. Bitcoin creating a little bit of a bearish flag pattern. In this area of support. We have that complex pullback into that area as well. By complex pullback, I just mean A, B, C, D. Got a little bit of a high volume candle, some high volume candle action with some rejection. It's 11:15. We know 11:30 can be an interesting time in the markets where we get some sort of move, whether up or down, but it seems to be a time where volatility begins to enter. Bitcoin, not quite able to get past that flag pattern just yet. It'll be interesting to see once it does, if that's going to be the capitulation moment. It looks like everything is pointing towards 80,600. I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm wrong. Oh, look at the similarities of yesterday's price action and today's price action. Especially here. Alright, I mean, those are very similar types of moves. The only difference is that this move was a little bit bigger of a pullback. And it looks like we are getting that breakdown now. Break of the flag pattern, break of the lows. And let's watch the capitulation begin. As it does every day. The best strategy is shorting as soon as the market opens. Best strategy ever created. All right, signs of potential liquidity sweep here. Let's see if this will finally be the day that we don't just dump. I mean, that's wishful thinking. High volume candle there. Yep, high volume candle and no close below these lows, so that's somewhat positive for now. Check RSI. RSI actually did go oversold there too for just a second. For just a hair of a second. But now we're going back into broken support. Back into this area here where it looks like there was some people buying and now they're selling out of their positions. Probably before the big drop. Now, why don't I go short? Because I'm a wuss and I don't like going short in big downtrends like this. Even though that should probably, that does make sense. I don't know, it's just mentally, it's hard for me to short at lows. It's looking pretty weak though. Looks like, yeah, looks like we want to go all the way down here. 80,600. And if it does happen, it should happen pretty soon here. The longer we start sitting below these lows, the more bullish it potentially becomes. Because every day we have seen massive capitulation type moves. So if we're not getting a capitulation after a breakdown like this, that signals potential reversal. Potentially. We've been pretty much wrong every day on the reversal so far. Not wrong, but early. So I'm trying to speak with caution. Gold going higher. Where's gold? Holy shite. Wow. Oh my god. That is a big move. Jeez, look at that. What a time to be alive with gold. So much for that possibility. That is a crazy move. Wow, it's like a breakout. Tiny little breakout there. Boom. Cool. All right, Bitcoin finished positive on no volume though. So we got that close there, but no volume to back it up, which is not ideal. NQ still hovering around its little spot, little demand area. Now going back into this area of resistance. Excuse me. Back into this previous low, which we've already tested once before. Looks like it's still using it as some rejection. Bitcoin at this point is starting to look more positive than NQ. If Bitcoin can get a little bit of a deeper pullback in, that could be a very strong sign of reversal, but so far it's still too early, still too shallow of a pullback, which means it's still in line with expectations. And the expectation in a strong move down is shallow pullbacks. I'm nauseous all of a sudden. I think that happens sometimes if I talk for too long. I'm also sick. Maybe it's that. All right. Bitcoin's still kind of moving slow. NASDAQ back into its area of support. Somehow NASDAQ is going lower while Bitcoin moves higher again. Let's see who wants to catch up to who. Does NASDAQ want to catch up to Bitcoin or Bitcoin catch up to NASDAQ? All right, both moving higher now. Still not too much volume. Still just hovering around that 786. Bitcoin is still moving higher. Looks like it took out Lowe's stop losses, which is bullish for now. It's hard to trust Bitcoin these days. Hard to trust NASDAQ these days. Straight down mother truckers. All right, Bitcoin looking more bullish. NASDAQ still not moving. Bitcoin looks like it wants to get up back to its little area of supply. Which would be a strong sign of reversal. NASDAQ finally moving out. Into its area of resistance again. And it falls. Bitcoin still relatively strong. Let's clean up the chart a little bit here. Yeah, looks like Bitcoin's just trapping bulls. Break through these highs, take the liquidity. Looks like high volume candle there. And the capitulation is still on. NASDAQ, ginormous, stinky, stupid candle. Looks like a bull trap on Bitcoin, which is not great. It means we might start going into that that free fall that we're ever so used to. NQ going lower. Bitcoin going lower. Every time we get a move lower, more people join the stream. It's kind of funny. There's people looking for something, looking for an answer. All right. So it looks like we're doing some bear trapping and some bull trapping. It looks like NASDAQ's going to need to take out these lows before there's even a smidgen of a chance it goes higher. It's not oversold yet. It was oversold for a second, but came right back down, or right back up. Bitcoin, RSI is doing nothing. Some volume coming in here, as well as Bitcoin still low volume, but honestly volume on Bitcoin is a little bit harder to read because it's from, there's so many different sources, so many data sources. At this point, I don't trust any moves higher on NASDAQ. These are all traps. See? Just like that. Trapping everyone. Buyers, buyers. You can see them. You can see the buyers coming in, coming in. And now they're all losing money. They come in again, come in again, come in again. And they just keep getting trapped. And they'll continue to get trapped until their stop losses are hit, which is going to be below these lows. That is where we're going to see the most amount of stop losses sitting. Usually, we can use the 113 Fibonacci extension as kind of where stop losses, the max pain threshold is going to be. So this general area below these lows here is most likely where we're headed on NASDAQ. And Bitcoin, that means that Bitcoin's probably just going to continue to take out its little tiny lows as it has been doing every day. Lower lows, lower highs. Bitcoin, we pump it, or are we blowing out candle up? Let's see, my man. Doesn't seem like we got much strength right now on anything. It's non-stop selling pressure. Again, bull traps. Look at these highs. Taking out the highs, dump lower. These are all traps. Take out the highs, lower. Take out the highs, lower. Seems to be the move. So now NASDAQ, we're just waiting for these lows to be taken out. Need to flush out the market pretty much. All of these levels are pretty much not as relevant. I wish I didn't need this stupid watermark so I could see better, but you guys need to see what we're trading. Bitcoin, as expected, took out its lows and probably getting ready for its next bull trap. NASDAQ just kind of fizzling down. Nothing special, nothing to do. So NASDAQ just hit its 88.6. Not much really to talk about on these, to be honest. Bitcoin's kind of just stuck below this zone here. Not really relevant anymore. We have this little tiny level of supply, which could act as a magnet, but we did just trap these bulls here, and we can see now we're now doing a little bit of a stop hunt, I guess, but these have not really been successful in the past. So these have just provided some relief, trap more buyers, and then we go lower. It looks like, let's go in the daily time frame. Daily time frame, it looks like we are really going to try to reach for those lows. Really going to try to reach for those lows there. Yesterday's lows. Which is there. So it looks like it's just a slow grind down to those lows. And NASDAQ, that means NASDAQ will probably get down to, let's check the daily chart. NASDAQ is already beneath yesterday's lows. Might want to test Monday's lows. I'll mark that out just to have it on the chart. And that puts us right below this little zone here. So take a look to the left. Yeah, that's a little bit. That's area of support there. Looks like we want to flush out these stop losses and probably retest yesterday's lows before we can get any type of relief. Bitcoin, as we assumed, no reversal, just more of a trap, more of a long trap. Getting a high volume candle here. This is giving me deja vu of yesterday. All right, NASDAQ reaching for these lows, and it's going to get them. It will get them. Just like that. And we're off. We're off to the races. The capitulation that happens every day. So we got the 113 extension there. It's also an ABCD pattern completion there. RSI oversold, trying to come back in. Watching this area here. Bitcoin, the slow grind down still as well. Wow, these trends have been pretty stable. Lower low, lower high, low low, lower high. So we now just went under the 113 extension. 3-minute time frame. That is a less than optimal candle. 3-minute close there. 5-minute candle has 25 seconds left. Five-minute candle, not a good close at all. Probably headed down to Monday's low now. Down to this black line here. Bitcoin, again, just slowly grinding down as it does. Well, there's a little bit of a high volume. There's some high volume. High volume coming in at this random point. Not much to be said about this area. Just gonna keep going down till yesterday's low, it looks like, which is, yeah, almost touched. NASDAQ is very oversold, but as we've seen in the previous days, oversold is the new overbought. It's like when we're just getting started. There should be some kind of relief. It's been very long since we've seen some kind of relief. Some sort of buy. And I guess that's reasonable to expect from this market right now. So much selling pressure. No volume. No volume. Okay, now we have some volume. All right, there's some volume. Thank you. And it's bull trap, isn't it? It's going to be a bull trap. Watch. Check this shite out, guys. They're toying. They're toying with the buyers. About to be a wicked bull trap. Bitcoin, NASDAQ. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. Let's see if this one's actually going to be legit. That was some quick selling there. Come on, prove me wrong then. Prove me wrong. Oh. Is this going to be the one? Is this the reversal? Oh no. Uh-oh. It looks like someone started buying. No way. No way we took out highs and then reversed again. At least we have these two candles here. That somewhat makes it less of a bull trap that we were able to close these, but the main thing is sweeping highs, taking out liquidity, and then continuing lower, and that's exactly what we just did. So, but let's see if the momentum can sustain despite doing that. Five-minute candle is somewhat bullish. 3-minute candle is also somewhat bullish, but it's very hard to trust these moves. Let's watch these fibs. Let's see. 50 to 61.8. Let's see that hold, and maybe I'll be more sold. See what Bitcoin's up to. Doing the same thing. Bitcoin still looks like it wants to take out some lows. Let's see if this was earlier we were talking about max pain. Remember, buyers need to feel their max pain before getting stopped out. And we saw buyers buying in here, all in here, trap here. And so, where's the max pain that we were talking about? Max pain is going to be under these lows, which is, the logic was, let's get some measurements below these lows to see if we can figure out the max pain spot. And we deduced this little area here, which this seems to be where the max pain was. As soon as everybody gets stopped out here, that's when you get the rally. Unless it's another trap, which is entirely possible. But right now it's holding better than anything we've seen so far, so there's that. Everything is starting to look a little more bullish. I need to pee again, boys and girls. I should get a layout, or I need to get a screen overlay that just says pee break or something. Because I pee a lot on stream, it seems. Alright, this is moving up higher. That's nice. I'm going to go to the bathroom. By the time I'm back, hopefully we're not, knock on wood, in another bull trap. Alright, bathroom, here I come. Alright. How low can we go? Can we go down low? All the way to the flippin' 19,280 level. Break the lows. Another bull trap? No way. In this economy? Another bull trap? these lows don't hold, it's over. It's over. It's ogre. All right, sitting around the 61.8, but that doesn't hold because it is a bull trap again. So where is max pain for the bulls that just got trapped again? Probably below these lows. Maybe at the 127 here. Now if we can make a high or low here, that would be very much better signs of a reversal instead of making a bull trap liquidity sweep. But if you doubt that the manipulation happens, just take a look at this chart right here. And you will see it clear as day. Look at the volume. Look at what we did out through the highs. High volume, all those transactions, all those stop losses. Swept and then down. Bitcoin looks like it's about to break its lows there. Still not too much volume, not as much as NASDAQ right now. NASDAQ's volume is also kind of fading away though, which is not cool, not nice. Another day, another 3% move lower. NASDAQ is down 1.5%. Technically, we could move literally double this of what we've seen. Literally double. Well, that level's not relevant anymore. Three-minute time frame, bouncing at a little bit of a demand level there. Will it hold? Who knows? How are you guys doing? Here, let me ask another poll that actually makes sense this time around. All right, poll is up. Are you winning, son? Are you winning? Looks like no is leading right now. Hey, Barack. 75% of you, looks like 75% of you are losing today. I feel ya. It's hard to trade this market. And now I get my breaking news of the day. Dow drops 400 points. S&P 500 nears correction territory as Trump threatens more tariffs. Shocker. Shocker. Trump tanks the market more because of his tariffs, which hopefully in the long run are a good thing. I don't know enough about politics. Don't really care. But hopefully we don't got to deal with the tanking market for too long. All right. So again, in this little area of demand, let's see if it holds. Not much follow through. Man, what a crazy little spike that was to just really show how manipulated markets can be. I mean, you guys saw how quickly that, the markets can be moved. I mean, that was just like someone turned on a switch and we just saw boop, straight up, straight down. It's like they turned on the switch as soon as they stopped everyone out. The switch got turned back off and the sell-off continues. It's like this was not even real. It's like that's not even real price action. It's like fake price action. This is the real price action. This is the real price action. And then this is just frickin' market movers. This day's market's not stable with all pair news. Is there more news coming out today? I don't know. I didn't see any on my calendar. If you haven't already, guys, feel free to smash that like button if you enjoy the streams and want me to keep doing them. I am trying to be a better streamer, so if you have any suggestions as well, let me know. Bitcoin doing nothing. Wow, that is some real weird price action on Bitcoin. Almost straight flat. High volume, somewhat of a high volume candle. NASDAQ unchanged. Still failing to see any kind of strength in this area. Still just slowly edging lower. It's now 12 p.m., so volume does tend to dry up, which is going to make this even more slow to watch. Let's go back to yesterday and see what was going on around this time. 12 p.m. we were already reversed. 11 a.m. we reversed this downtrend. And 12 p.m. is actually when we started to kind of reverse the other way. And then just nothing much after that. Okay, there's some sign of life. See, I'm not even phased by the moves higher anymore, because they just can't be trusted. Which is so annoying, because I would love to actually be able to trade long. No doubt about it, this is overextended. But overextended does not mean anything in this market. Oh, I'm hungry. So today is yesterday. So today is yesterday's inverse. Yeah, maybe. Maybe now 12 p.m. will be the reversal back up. Whereas yesterday it was kind of the reversal back down. We should, if we do bottom out here, we should be able to get up to a halfway mark. 50%. That's minimum. Positive mentality is always a good starting point, they say. I'm naturally, I think, a pessimist, unfortunately. I mean, it keeps me safe sometimes, but I find it harder to be positive. Excuse me. It's a bad habit. I know. I don't want to be a grumpy old man. Somewhat of a high volume candle there. I actually wasn't paying attention if that was buying or selling that caused that volume. Because if that volume came in when we were getting rejected here in that small wick, then that's selling pressure and probably just another trap. Which it looks like it was. Looks like we need to probably break through these lows. Not gonna lie. Probably break through these lows here, get to the 127, maybe even the 1.618, which brings us much lower. Another 1%, another 0.5% ish. I just realized I'm using the wrong Fibonacci extension. That is incredibly stupid of me. Give me 1 second. Let's take from here to here to here. And it's about the same. What's Bitcoin doing? Oh, shocker. Bitcoin going lower. Down to yesterday's low, which is this black line again. Another high volume candle beneath these lows here. If we reclaim these lows, maybe we'll survive, but other than that, it's looking pretty likely to retest yesterday's lows. I would just like a normal day. Could we just get a normal trading day? That's not straight down. Is that too much to ask? Just a normal trading day where it's not just one direction. Oh man, alrighty. Well, this is becoming quite the long move. It's more of like a 3-minute time frame now. Kind of got this zigzag thing going on. ABCD. Is it an ABCD pattern? Yeah, it is. That's why we're getting a little bit of relief. We got a equal move lower. Equal move into a 113 extension. Another pump higher on NASDAQ. Bitcoin reclaimed its low there. So potential for survival, maybe. A little bit of an increase in volume. NASDAQ starting to give up again. We are beginning to kind of round out though. Round out. So the place for bull trap is now going to be this high. If we take out this high and go lower, that will be GG's. The selling pressure, technically speaking, is weakening. We can see that in the price action. The highs and the lows becoming tighter together. Although I feel like the last few times that we've said that in this market, it just leads to another big move. Well, Bitcoin got trapped again. Bitcoin just it's got to go below these lows. I'm not even going to analyze it until we've done that. There's no point in trying to catch a bottom on Bitcoin right now until it's gotten below its lows here. So that black line right there is yesterday's lows on Bitcoin. Until we get below that, I don't care. It's 12:13 p.m. and we're seeing the afternoon lull of price. Lunch break. I am starving, speaking of. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I don't think I'm going to stick around for this. These are just boring times right now. So I think I'll end it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button and subscribe and turn the notification bell on if you are interested in using a prop firm, which I didn't even get to really show today. Fund your FX, link in the description down below, code CT for 10% off. And if you want to trade crypto futures, BitUnix is by far the best broker, in my personal opinion, with a link in the description down below as well. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.